the mind is the same one which will bring you to the divine and the same one which will bring you to hell. There's no two mind, only one. But how you're focusing it, where you're focusing it, it is very important. That's why on the spiritual path we do. Yesterday we have seen Ma Brahmacharini Devi remind one of continuous chanting. No? Here again, Ma Bhagavati is reminding again by her name itself, by her glory itself, that aspect of transforming the mind. How would the mind transform? It is in constant chanting, murmuring or whispering the divine name. So you chant Om, Om, Om. This is in the Veda. They say the yogi, when they were sitting there, the mind was fully absorbed into the chanting of Om. Of course, Bhakta, you can chant Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. You can chant Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. Whatever form of the divine you feel close to, that one you chant. But the mind itself, it can't think how Bhagwan is. There is something which is happening at that moment, you know. This is why we say it is ringing the bell. It is ringing the bell for the intellect to come back to its sense. Because the intellect always will run where the mind is focusing about, you know. So when the bell starts ringing inside, in the form of the divine name, it starts to chant. So then the intellect starts to think, what is happening? Here he is chanting the divine names. So the intellect starts to take certain, I say, let me find out who is it. You know? What is that nature of that divine? You know? First you hear Om, 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 but Om is a symbol. But it's not a symbol which represents God. No, it is the symbol of that Supreme Lord Himself. There's no difference between Om and Bhagwan. It is the same when your mind starts to chant. No? So the mind said, okay, Om, 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 Ram, 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 Krishna, 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 Shiva, 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 Jagarambe, Jagarambe, Jagarambe. But yet the intellect starts to think, what is the nature of that name? What is the nature of that divine? So the mind starts to rise. The intellect starts to rise. You become like the Chandra, no? So the rising upon your intellect, upon that divine, bring a certain transformation. So you see, sound, you know, here Chandra Ganta is reminding that sound is very important. Sound affects also our mind state. No? What you are putting, what you are listening, affect your mental attitude. And it transforms. No? The same thing when you are at home, you Prabhu like to call your wife honey. Isn't it? Why? You know very well at home it's a bitter truth waiting. But at least it sounds nice. You know, it's sweet. You keep reminding honey, honey, honey. Even if there's no honey there. Huh? So, it's a symbol which remind yourself. So sweet, so nice, darling. No. All these beautiful words. You never call the person the name, yeah? So you see, these symbols are a reminder of something which is beautiful, something which is nice, something which is you can appreciate. You know? So like that, when the mind is absorbed into continuously chanting the divine name, your intellect automatically start to long for the nature of that name. When it reached to that point of longing for that nature of such name of Bhagavan, that intellect automatically have to transform. It can't stay in the same. It can't stay into that state of always running around. So to bring it back, you see, this is where Ma Bhagavati took that form of Chandraganta, in the form of sound itself, to awake that intellect to that supreme state, where it's not wandering around, where once that intellect is transformed into that, it brings the transformation also upon the mind, and when the mind have transformed, it brings the transformation upon all the senses and upon yourself. So you start to journey. You see, it's like a map, you know, in a reverse way. First, you start to control your senses, you start to control what you want, you know, you control the mind, then you start to control, then controlling of the mind by giving the mind what kind of toys you have to play with, it brings it to the state that intellect itself, which we're running outside, to become transformed. So then you bring back that intellect, you know, reverse way. It transforms itself and it brings it back into the world itself. Then you become like a guide for somebody else. Because you have transformed, your transformation can't be only for yourself. Automatically when you transform, you become like a transformation for the others also. You start to inspire others to transform. Then your life becomes meaningful. There were once in a farm 2 horses. One horse was blind, and the other one was a bit smaller one. So these 2 horses were very dear friends. Of course, the owner of the farm didn't want to put down that blind horse, but he made a small, nice place, you know, said, okay, his last days he can live happily. But he was blind. So there was a bell tied into the neck of the little horse. So they were always together. So whenever the little horse will move away, the blind one will follow through the sound. Where is the belt? So like that, he will go and join the other horses in the stable. And in the evening, when they have to go, time to time, the little horse will stop behind and look, where is the blind horse coming? Was I too far away or not? So that he can hear the sound. When he hears the sound, he comes. So you see, like that, Bhagavan, when you incarnate in this world, he have not let you just like this. No. But you have to become aware of his help in your daily life. How he presents himself to you, day to day, as a reminder of his presence. But we are so busy, You know, our mind is so preoccupied with the world that we don't perceive his presence in our life. Even when we say, yes, we are spiritual, only we are spiritual when we have time. No? Can we be spiritual at all time? No, I am very busy, Guruji. I can't. That's why he took the form of sound as a reminder. You see, behind all the sound, it is Om. If you listen any instrument, any sound, the primordial sound is Om. So all the instrument, all the sound can make you, remind you and transform you into that being itself. You know? But you have to notice that. You have to be aware of that. You know? So that's what Ma Bhagavati Chandraghanta remind one of, that cosmic sound which is present everywhere. And although you see also those mind which is fully absorbed into that. Bhagavan Krishna in the Gita, he said, those who depart from this world, you know, absorbed in the chanting of Om, they come to me. Why do you think Bhagavan have said it like that? Absorbing in Om is not only when you are chanting Om, 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 Om. No. You're not in a hurry to take a train or something. No? But being absorbed into that cosmic sound of Om, you start to perceive all around every sound as echoing that cosmic sound. You will see what science said, that everything is vibration. No? And you will start to see, you can start to feel that vibration emanating from everything. So Bhagavan have not just say, I create you, go into the world and become miserable. This is the 11th commandment. No, he provide a very deep scientist process, you know. How meticulous he could be in his creation is amazing. But he infused himself in everything. And that's what the Shastra said, no? At the beginning of the Veda, Bhagavan said, but I manifest myself and infuse myself in all. So how can we come to that point? If our mind is so disturbed, our mind is so preoccupied, only when you start to take time and absorb into that, then you will start to perceive, because of that transformation of your intellect, you know, when your intellect start to take upon that divine nature. When the intellect starts taking that aspect of the divine nature, it transforms everything into divine, everything back to touch. That's why we say, when a saint touches something, it is infused with the divine. No, because the saint realized that divinity in everything. Brahmarpanam, Brahma is food. No? Annam Brahma. No? Why do you think the yogis said the food is Brahma? We are just eating the food like that. And yeah, the yogi said Brahma is a food. God is food. It's bring that gratitude into your life. Yeah? Because otherwise we will not be grateful. We like to just to take. We are never grateful. In nature, human beings are not grateful. But you see, we take excess. We eat as if there's no tomorrow. Everything. Whatever we do, we like to do it in excess. But once you are in excess, what happens? You lose that peace of mind. Simple fact is that if you overeat, you feel sick. Can you do your sadhana? Can you concentrate? No, you can't. So that's what you have to start observing. Yeah? Devi is very scientific. The sages, when we read the stories, it's very scientific how they have planned everything step by step as a reminder of your inner transformation from human to divine, and allowing you to journey into that spheres which your mind have not even have the capacity to visualize it. So take your time, be absorbed into that cosmic sound inside of you. Even if you do it for 5 minutes a day, and during this 5 minutes, I'm not just saying, Guruji have said to chant Ram, 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 Ram. Oh, Krishna, 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 Krishna. Huh? You see that very often. No. Take your time. Even if it's just 5 minutes, put your alarm, doesn't matter. You will come to a point that even the alarm is ringing, you will not hear it. Probably you're deep sleeping. But take the time to chant. And when you're chanting, be in a relaxed state, not in a state of tension.